Hi and welcome to this video. Today I'll be looking at compositions and some of the fundamental composition techniques that we can use. I'm going to be using this single subject, which some of you may recognize from one of my recent videos as well about the wildfires here in Spain. But what I'm going to do is use this ruin within the landscape to demonstrate a series of different composition techniques, fundamentals, both using the kind of rules or guidelines, if you like, of composition, plus also using the features of the landscape. So stay tuned for all of that. And I always don't really like the phrase rules or the word rules. What I really like to think of them is kind of guidelines to help set the composition. So I'll use rules and guidelines interchangeably throughout this video. The first topic I'm going to cover is really the placing of the main subject. The main subject in this landscape is the ruin, as you can see behind me. We've got the hillside behind the fire hillside where one of the wildfires went through, but we've got the foreground greenery starting to grow on the terraces again where the fire did sweep through. But the main subject here is going to be the ruin. And what I want to do is think about the rule of thirds for this and placing it in the landscape. So my thinking here is that what I'm going to do is, because of the shape of the building, I'm going to put that in the bottom lower third. And then what I'll do is encapsulate and surround that by the bank in the landscape and just border it by the sky at the top. There is a plane trail right up there. I'm going to cut that out. Fortunately, that's high enough for me to cut out. There's some lovely little white cloud though that'll enhance, just a plain blue sky can be a bit boring. So there's a lovely little white cloud that I'm going to capture and just crop into the top right hand corner. So I think that what we've essentially got is we're going to have the ruin itself in the bottom left hand third, and then we're going to have the bottom third being the bank at the bottom. Then we've got the top 2/3 are essentially going to be the fire charred hillside and just bordered by the sky at the top. And then we've got the right hand side is this barren space where the fire swept through and destroyed the bank. So let's capture that. And what I'll do is I'll show you that as I would normally capture that using the rule of thirds, or the guideline, should I say. And then what I'll do is I'll position it in different locations. So I'm going to take it where the actual ruin is in a different third, but I'm also going to do one where I put it right in the middle. And I'll be intrigued to know what you'll think, because obviously we've got the guideline from the rule of thirds, but then we've got that final image as well with it in the center. One of the things to also consider when thinking about these guidelines is also your final crop. So at the moment, obviously most sensors are 3x2 in their orientation, whether that be landscape or portrait. But what I'm thinking for this, and I'm a fan of this format now, maybe watch too much TV, but I quite like a 16:9 or maybe a 16:8 for this. I think that'll really enhance that. So when framing within the image, also think about what your final crop is going to be. And I'm gonna take this into a 16:9 or a 16:8. There'll be 5 images: bottom left third, top left third, top right third, bottom right third, and then also right in the middle. Love to know your comments below, and after these we'll move on to the next composition technique. I've dropped my camera now just a little bit on the tripod. Really unfortunate, but one of the farmers has just turned up to tend to his olive trees just in front. So I've just dropped it because it was just catching the roof of his car. One of the perils of a landscape photographer. Anyway, but we can just take the top of his car that's parked in the field out of the image right now. So I've just dropped this a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this to portrait, because what I want to demonstrate is the rule of thirds in portrait mode as well. So what I'm looking at here is to capture the ruin in the bottom third. If you dissect the image into thirds, I want the ruin to be on the bottom third line, so that we've got the terraces in the front, then the ruin, then the bank going up into the distance. A couple of features to notice when I've now rotated it to portrait mode is actually you've got the leading lines of the terraces leading the eye towards the ruin. But what you've also got, where the fire was, you've got a line from the top of the hill leading us again to the ruin. So all the lines, you've got the road coming in from the right, which leads us to the ruin. So everything draws the eye to the ruin. So this is a really fundamental composition technique as well. Using the lines within the landscape to draw the eye to your main subject matter. And what I'll do is two images for this one, cropped so that it's cropped in, and also then one with the bigger landscape in, because I think that's important. And then we'll move on to different composition techniques beyond the rule of thirds and the centering of the image. So let's also now talk about framing. What I've noticed is in this landscape there are these two amazing bits of ancient wood that were used in this barn structure, but through there you can just make out the ruin. So as I just mentioned, what I've got is these two bars, these two wooden bars. I've aimed the camera, the lens straight through, quite zoomed in. I've got the aperture really low. I've got it right down at f5 at the moment. And I've set the tripod up on all this fallen rocks and rubble down here, which is really where the building has collapsed, the ruin. What I'm looking at though in terms of the composition is what we refer to as the golden ratio. The golden ratio mathematically is kind of a little bit, it's not too complex, but it's a little bit of maths behind it. But what it basically gives you is in the center, you've got an area of probably 20% of the overall image, but it's right in the center. So the rest of your image points and leads to that. So what I'm looking at here is the ruined tower in the distance, centered in the golden ratio, the golden center, and then framed by the logs at the top and the ruins on the left and the right. So let's capture these images now. There's probably just going to be a couple of these images, so let's take a look, and then we can, again, let me know in the comments below which ones you prefer. Having covered the golden ratio for the square and the center of the image, what I want to talk about now is the golden triangle. And I've picked these poppies, which are a great foreground feature, the tower in the background. But the golden triangle, the ratio for that is, and sorry if there's a bit of wind noise, I'm on the windy side of the hill for these poppies, unfortunately. But what we've got is we've got these poppies in the bottom right-hand corner, from about the bottom left going up to, cutting a diagonal up to about the second third on the right hand side, and vice versa from the top right down to the bottom third on the left hand side. So we've got that bottom triangle covered by the poppies, we've got the top triangle covered by the hillside, and the tower is in the middle of that on the second third, dissecting that through the diagonal. Brilliant composition technique because it really traps your eye onto the subject. When on landscape locations, try this technique. It's absolutely fantastic. But again, remember, these are guidelines. These are all to be broken. So I should capture, I think, 3 images here. I'm going to focus on the foreground, focus on the background, and then I'm going to do a bigger aperture to give me a bigger depth of field covering both the poppies and the tower in the background. So now let's take a look at these images, and as ever, feel free to drop a comment below which image you guys prefer. And now I want to talk about leading lines, which are really, really brilliant in landscape photography. They lead the eye naturally to the subject. So what I've got here, we've got the ruin still, we've got this trail which is like a Cortijo farmer's trail which leads into some of the olive groves up in the hill, and that's where the wildfire spread through. There is sadly some kind of gas pipeline with these yellow posts, so I'm going to do what I've only ever done once before, which I will edit those out because those are going to appear in my image. I did once edit out a rope swing at the Pemachno Roman Bridge when I did that video, because somebody had put a rope swing right in front of the bridge. So I did edit that out, which I did declare in the video. I will always, if I do any editing of that nature, I'll always let you know. So what I will do is edit those yellow posts out in the image. But what I've really got here is I've got the lovely S as this road, this trail follows the contour of the hill. I've got the tree in the bottom right, which actually fills in that curve of the road really nicely, just to stop it being wasted space. Oh, I love it. Cyclists going along the road in the distance. I don't know if you guys can see that. I've cycled that road many a time. I truly love that road, which is how I discovered this ruin as well, by the way. And then what I've got on the left-hand side is this tree framing us on the left, and we've got this leading line straight to our ruin and the vibrancy of the ruins. So let's have a look at this. Yes, so what we've got here is that really nice curve straight into the building. So let's capture this. I've got it at about f10. There's no point, there's no close range. I'm just going to take a single image, f10, leading lines, absolutely brilliant. You've got to, when on landscape, spot things like this. So we've covered the framing, we've covered the compositions and some things like that. Start to think of these in combination, because what I've done is I've put the actual building, the ruin itself, in the top right-hand third. So I'm using the rule of thirds, the guideline of thirds. We'll think about rules versus guidelines. I'd love to know what you guys think. Again, drop a comment below. But we've got that leading line coming in the bottom right-hand third, cutting across to the left-hand third, and then sweeping us straight into that third. There's like every rule of thirds you could think of. I'm going to take one image of it as I've just described it, but I'm also going to take one image zoomed out quite a bit with the road, and then you'll get an idea, and I'm going to put it right in the middle, and the golden ratio that we spoke about earlier. So we've got the road leading in now, the S, and then we've got the bank behind. Oh no, there's a plane. Oh well, that's all right, it's out of the image. I don't know if you guys see the plane flying right across, creating a plane trail. But that is just out of our image, which is really lucky, because that would have spoiled the image in my opinion. So we've got the sky just bordering the top, we've got the ridge line, and then we've got the ruin itself right in the middle of the image. So let's capture that. And I want to capture one more here. I want to show you the difference as well between landscape orientation and portrait orientation. One of the things I'm going to have to do, I'll take off my sunglasses. My sunglasses are polarizer. This screen is also polarized, so when it rotates 90 degrees, I actually can't see very much on the screen. But what I've got now is I've got the road coming in bottom right-hand corner, sweeping through the bottom third of the image. And again, leading, and I've got this building this time slap bang in the center again, golden ratio right in the center, got a little bit of blue sky at the top, absolutely brilliant. I love this composition again. The building actually probably isn't perfect golden ratio, and this is what I mean by them being guidelines and not rules. The building is halfway between the center and a third, so it's slightly above center. Let me know what you think of this image. I just think that this setting really lends itself well to thinking about the various rules that you can use for landscape photography. Absolutely magnificent. Let's capture that image. And now let's take a look at these three images. Was it three? Anyway, let's have a look at these images that I captured on this location, and we can then think about which one we prefer. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you found it useful. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is massively appreciated. And also drop any comments that you have, any feedback below. I will be making another video on different composition techniques, so please remember to switch on those notifications as well. Your support for the channel is massively appreciated. I do hope that you've enjoyed this location. The Sierra Nevada mountains are behind me now. Absolutely stunning here in southern Spain. There's still a little bit of snow on the peaks at the moment. The ski resort, I believe, is still open up there. And we've got the Mediterranean Sea just behind the camera as well, or the phone. So anyway, without further ado, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I will see you again very soon. Thank you very much.